Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says Israel can hit all of Iran's nuclear sites, including Fordow, without help from the United States.
President Trump will do what's best for America. I trust his judgment. He's a tremendous friend, a tremendous world leader, a tremendous friend of Israel and the Jewish people. And we will do what we have to do, and we are doing it. We are committed to destroying the nuclear threat, the threat of a nuclear annihilation against Israel. We're able to do it, and we, of course, will make our own determination.
But some military analysts say that America's bunker buster bomb is the only thing that has a chance at destroying Fordow, which is believed to be more than 200 feet underground.
I don't even know if my family's safe, honestly. The internets are out. Hopefully they're safe.
The bomb can only be delivered by American B-2 stealth planes. General Keane, so the White House official told Fox News
I've
that
seen
the
the
U.S. Air Force has no doubt about the
plane. It's been
efficacy
going around.
of this massive ordnance
People are
penetrator.
flexing it.
They also say no option's been taken off the table, including tactical nukes. What do you think is the best way forward in terms of the weapon to use to destroy Fordow?
Well, I think this is the best weapon. I mean, Prime Minister Netanyahu, in terms of dealing with his domestic audience and his obligation to protect them against all weapons out there.
2 days ago.
He's making those
Almost
statements
3
with
days
that
ago
in
now.
regard. I mean, he does have options.
The bunker buster, if they put this to destroy it, hell will be loose. It's bad. If they decide, if the U.S. decides to intervene, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad for everyone. Financially, everyone's lives is gonna be at risk.
He can do a commando-type raid on the facility, put an air cap of fighters over it while they go down. It takes time, blow up the facility of that. And can he get those people out of there unharmed is another issue. There's a lot more risk. They can hit the electric grid that drives the centrifuges and the ventilation system as well. But all of those may be able to achieve an end result with a fair amount of risk. The best option is the option that you're talking about. Is the MOP, so to speak, because of its vast capability to distribute this, bring the system down. We don't know for certain because we've never used it on a mountain of rock like that.
So you don't even know if it's going to work.
The facility is 300.
What if you do it and it didn't work? Nuclear stuff are all there, and even if you tried on Khomeini, whatever. Even if you tried on Khomeini, if it doesn't work and if he survives, what then? And when Khamenei asked for help from Russia and China and North Korea, where Russia already offered the help, then you got yourself in more debt. It's honestly not worth it for both sides to intervene and let this whole thing be just Israel and Iran. We don't want US, we don't want Russia, we don't want China. Let them settle this. They will stop eventually. You can't keep going on like this.
100 feet into the ground.
It's just one of them has to put their egos aside.
But it still remains the best option. You don't walk away from it because it may not be perfect. Eisenhower's going into Normandy, and the chances, he said it out loud, probably 50-50. What was the alternative? We lose the war.
Yeah.
What's the alternative here? They get a nuclear weapon? Of course we're going to try it. I mean, the president offered to Prime Minister Netanyahu about a week or two ago, he said, if you need our help, let us know.
Yeah. Cheryl has a question for you, but right before we get to that.
Isn't he be asking for help every single day?
I just want to ask you to address a chief criticism that I have heard of those who fear forever wars. There's been the suggestion, I think President Trump's made it clear, look, I'm not trying to take out Khomeini right now. I'm not asking for regime change. I'm looking at this strike. Is it possible to separate the two and ensure a forever war does not happen, but that Iran does not get nuclear weapons with a strike on Fordow?
Yeah, I really find this argument quite shallow and a bit absurd. Yes, Iraq and Afghanistan, these are the cases that are referred to forever wars. Those were choices to go in and take a regime down. I'm not going to relitigate the reasons. Take a regime down in both cases.
The regime is never going to go down. The regime is never going to go down. Even when the Crown Prince of Iran, which he has no power there anymore, because the Shah was kicked out, people were laughing at him as well. Yes, a lot of people want the regime to change, but it's just not going to happen. Like Iran isn't like, you know, a village where they don't have power. They don't know what they're doing. A lot of the things you see, what they show you is maybe 1/5 of what they actually have. They're very big on keeping a lot of things secret, just like China. And China just comes and just jump scares everyone with Chinese cars.
Physically,
The regime is never going to change. No matter who you want alive, what you do, the regime is there to stay.
take them down, occupy
Unfortunately.
the country, and rebuild the country so it can survive on its own. That became
See, this is the theory everyone's living in. Like, a lot of people, a lot of streamers, a lot of politicians, they've said, we don't understand their culture. It's totally different from ours. I understand their culture. The regime, this is a false hope everyone's looking forward to.
quote a forever war or a protracted war. What do we have on the table?
The more they try to go against Khamenei and the Islamic Republic, and the more they try to change it, it's going to end badly for everyone. Because people think Iran isn't modernized, you know, they're still the old heads. But the Islam thing is an act for them. The Khamenei's son was captured in Las Vegas with with women and gambling and drinks and alcohol and all of that. Like, this is just a play for them. But behind, you know, scenes, they're modernized. They know what to do. They know who to do. They know how to do business, how to do this and that, how to make money. That's it. How to get power.
Here. This is Israel's war against Iran. They have no intentions whatsoever of putting a ground force into Iran, of decapitating
bad
the
idea.
regime physically or in occupying Iran.
Iran has 700,000 soldiers on standby. How many Israel has? Like 50,000? Which, the like civilians? I don't know how much Israel has. What is it, 200,000 maybe? It's a bad idea to go in foot. Very bad. It's not like Afghanistan. Iran is a whole different thing. Yes.
We certainly have none of those.
And I'm sure, I'm very, very sure. See, this plays a huge role on people's egos. Even like my dad, I spoke to him today to check, hey, how's the aunt, how's the family, how's this, everyone all right? Even my dad, who hates the regime, who hates the government, blah, 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 his ego was proud that his country, retaliated like this. Like, don't fuck with us, It's the ego that's in play. So think of that. When someone in Iran has nothing to lose, he gets brainwashed with the idea of, hey, proud of my country, I'm going to do this for my country, That's how the Iraq and Iran war was. The way my dad was in the Iraq war. He joined towards the end, but he said the way they brainwash people is like, those Iraqis are going to come and shakalaka boom boom your wives and blah 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 if they cross the Iran border. So we have to stand here, we have to defend. So how they used to defend against mines, for example, like underground mines, one by one they used to go, sacrifice, give their life so they can clear the way for the rest of the people to go, so they can protect their wives and children. The ego in men is what's going to kill you, honestly.
Options on the table. All we are doing is participating in Israel's war. And we want to do one thing. In addition to providing intelligence and logistics, a lot of munitions that they're using came from us. They want us to take down...
Everything came from you. Literally everything came from you. It's not a lot of things. The air defenses, everything.
A target for them that they don't...
Even the people, half of them are American Israelis. They're Americans, but they're Jewish Americans. They went to Israel, so now they're Israeli.
They can destroy a target. And what I think the message should be to the IS...
It's like, the way I see these things is like, they're all Americans. They're all Americans. All the Israelis are Americans. This is just my point of view on things. They all live in a big house, the 50 states of the whole US. They live in a big mansion, a palace, the United States. Now, they don't want to all live in the same palace now, so they're gonna create a guest house, a very large guest house where there will be neighbors. So they can expand also the Jewish want their own place as well. So US in return will help that happen, build that, they'll take care of them because those guests are gonna take care of them as well because obviously Jewish people control Hollywood, control all these people, they make all the monies. Without a doubt, they make 4 to 5 times of whatever they're spending on Israel. US is not doing this for free. They are not doing this for free. How much of that money goes into the country? How much? I don't know. US is in debt. And they've been trying to get out of that debt for years. So it's a big hole which we don't know a lot about.
Ayatollah from the president is, we intend to do this limited strike in Israel's war. We are not going to war with you. We are supporting our partner. However, if you retaliate against us, then you're going to get war from the United States.
Then that is the time where a lot of egos from the US went up as well. Fuck yeah, USA. And that's when Iran, it's ego after ego. It's ego after ego.
And you will suffer the consequences. And that war...
Well, they hit the consulate. Not a lot of damage was made. No one was hurt reportedly.
Will be an air and maritime strike on him. There would be no intention to go in there, invade the country, change the regime, and occupy it. That's off the table. And we should stop talking about a forever war being the outcome of one limited airstrike.
General, I wanted to ask you about Israel's military.
Stop talking about a forever war being the outcome of one limited airstrike.
Yeah.
General, I wanted to ask you about Israel's military capabilities. There's some new analysis this morning from the Wall Street Journal. It talks about the weight on the Israeli economy and also on their forces because of the amount of attacks they're conducting on Iran right now. These interceptor missiles that they're using, those are $200 million a day that it's costing them. Building repairs that we're seeing with the damage, that's $400 million. And they say that in general, that the Israelis only have about 4 weeks, and that would be a $12 billion hit.
I believe they have it only for a week or two left, not 4 weeks. Like, they can defend themselves with the Iron Dome for like a week or two. I don't think it's 4 weeks unless they built new ones. Because once those things run out, Iran has like 50,000 ballistic missiles. They only hit like 400. They can go on for months with shit-talking them. But hopefully it'll all stop. Because I can't imagine if Iran drops like 200 ballistic missiles with no air defense.
To them economically, as well as they are going through these weapons and these missiles.
It will literally be pure bullying at that point.
Is there a way for the United States to facilitate help on that end? And also the other issue is, you mentioned Iran and the Houthis in the top of the show. I wanted to ask you about this because the U.S. Treasury just sanctioned a bunch of Houthi-tied organizations are going after the oil revenue.
Yeah, Martin.
Houthi-tied organizations are going after the oil revenue.
Yeah.
Yeah, so oil is obviously going to go up in everywhere. Doesn't matter. They're going to close the borders. The war, honestly, if you're into like gold, you make a lot of money. But the oil part, yeah, everyone's going to lose economically. And Iran can control a lot of the oil with him and his allies.
Modern warfare is very expensive, and you've seen it when we're using our weapon systems, how expensive they are. And when we're using, $1 million weapon system to shoot a drone out of the air that costs $5,000 or something like that, there's something wrong with that picture. But the reality is, Israel has never been down this road before, since their existence in 1948. In their minds, this is definitely a protracted war. Their military is organized around a small active duty force to fight something that is not going to be elongated. They bring in where the majority of the force is their reserves, and their plan is 40 days at the max. Well, look where we are. And that has taken a toll on their society in a way that no other war prior to this has. All of those wars have lasted weeks. This one has lasted months and now going into years. So that is an economic burden. I think it's a psychological and emotional burden. I think the fact that the hostages, given the numbers they took and the length of time that they're still in captivity.
They don't care, Iranians. Their ego is more important than their lives. Something I always remember is, he said that they're not afraid of blood. They will sacrifice, martyr, however much they can. 100,000 people, 1 million people. But they will win the war. You know how much death was in the 8-year war with Iraq? 8-year war because of people's egos. They were fighting. 8 years they fought. 2 million people are around. Estimated total casualties range from 1 million to twice that number. 2 million people. 2 million people died because of people's egos. That's crazy number. 2 million people. You can't beat a person who isn't afraid of you. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the problem with Iran. They love their egos too much. They're so proud of their egos, and they will never put it aside. Unless Israel, backs out, and they're gonna be like, okay, fine, you attacked us first. You attacked us first. Now my number in the negotiation goes up. They will negotiate this, like I said before. They might also come to a realization, both already have, maybe not Iran yet, because Iran is a bigger country, money-wise. I don't know who has more money, net worth. But countries will come to a realization that, hey, we're spending way too much money